Abortion is the #1 killer of African Americans. Abortion kills more blacks than all other deaths combined. Since 1973, more than 40 million unborn children have been legally killed in this country. Of those, more than 14 million of them were black. African American women make up only 13% of American women of childbearing age, yet 35% of all abortions are performed on black women. The abortion rate among black women is 3 times higher than that of white women. At this rate of abortion, our future looks dim. Join me. Take a stand against this devastating atrocity. Abortion kills. We must protect all of our children, no matter how small their bodies may be. I'm Day Gardner, Director of Black Americans for Life.
Email bal@nrlc.org.
America is experiencing an epidemic of adult men sexually exploiting underage girls. Today, a junior high school girl is more likely to become pregnant by an adult than by a boy her own age. In fact, when girls 15 or under get pregnant, over 60% of the time it's by an adult. Call 1-800-800-LIFE and find out how money taken out of your paycheck is funneled into organizations that protect the pedophiles who prey on these girls. The report and the call are free. The number is 1-800-800-LIFE.
Welcome back to Love Them Both. Today's guest is Patty Becker, the Pregnancy Resource Center. Her number's running at the bottom of your screen, along with a national number to get a resource in your area to help you. And Patty is in the life business. She helps women and men learn everything they need to know. Even, I hate to digress here, there should be some, responsibility here in the show, but even we were talking about, you even do STD testing at your resource center.
Yes, we do.
So you really inform people of the whole gamut of sexual issues.
Well, you know what, Janet, when people become sexually active outside of marriage, there are ramifications for that. So one of them is an unplanned pregnancy. We talk about sexually transmitted diseases that can take place, broken relationships. All of these things are taking place because people are sexually active outside of marriage. So they're caught off guard when they're all of a sudden facing a disease. It's an uncomfortable situation because of the partner they're with isn't their husband or whatever the relationship is. And it can have future ramifications on pregnancy, depending on which STD you're facing. And so the center opened it up to STD testing about 1.5 years ago because we had so many kids, now that we do ultrasound, asking us, well, do you also do STD testing? Because we're known as a limited medical facility. I actually had one young girl come up and ask me, she called on the phone and asked if I could give her a flu shot. And I said, well, we don't do that, but we're a little bit different than that, yeah. And because of the requests that we have from so many young kids, teenagers and young adults, we actually partner with the Allegheny County Health Department, and they do all the lab work and they provide the tests. So we're just there to, have a nurse there to do the test and to medicate the ones, that are curable. So that is a portion of what we do. But if I could describe the center in one word, it would be about life. It's about someone's life that is affected because they have been sexually active, outside of marriage, and they're facing these situations. So, pregnancy is the biggest issue that the center is really there to help someone walk through that process. STD testing and other things. We do abstinence programs we're in 21 public schools right now with middle schools and high schools, trying to be on the preventative side so that kids aren't ending up with sexually transmitted diseases or unplanned pregnancies, and they're just not prepared. So we're working very hard on that end to just secure someone's future, get them through high school and college with the mentality, understanding the dangers and risks, and to remain abstinent.
Just seeing all the national news and so forth about the rise in STDs and the infertility that, I mean, they're really rampant out there. These STDs, they've grown in proportion, just out of control.
Right,
so,
they really have.
So your agency has really grown to the need.
Yes,
really,
it has. It has. Yeah, we've sort of stepped up to the plate because the plate was presented to us. Well, what are you going to do with this? So we're a place that we know that they feel we're confidential and secure in that mode, that they know they can come in, get confidential information, and be tested and, get treated for the curable diseases and, ushered into the Allegheny County Health Department for diseases that, are reached beyond that, that we don't test for. So it is a good place for them to come get information on that.
Right. So just some of the services, say there's a young girl, she's in a crisis pregnancy situation. what are some of the services you can offer her?
Well, if she were to come in and say, you know, I think I'm pregnant, number one, she'd be greeted with one of our counselors, Janet, and then she'll take her back and she'll give her a pregnancy test. From the pregnancy test, if it shows it's positive, then we'll talk about, you know, what we discussed earlier about going through all the options about parenting, adoption, and abortion. We don't do abortions, we don't refer for abortions, but we will be there to educate you on the risks that are involved and so forth. And the procedures. After that, we may schedule you for an ultrasound. You know, depending upon how many weeks pregnant you are, we'll then give you the ultrasound. The ultrasound, I love the ultrasound because it'll show whether or not you have a viable pregnancy. If you do have a viable pregnancy and you've decided to choose life, the center comes alongside, offers free parenting classes. We have a labor and delivery nurse, so the nurse is there to prepare you for the actual delivery itself. The labor and delivery nurse is a very cool lady, Kathy, who she actually works at one of our major hospitals. She'll even go in the delivery room many times with our clients because they connect so well that she's there for them in every area.
So they have their little medical advisor, right?
Yeah,
I wish I would have had her.
Take a look. From what
I could have used her.
What I'm going to go through, I want you there with me.
Really, really. You know what's going on. You're coming.
Yeah, come here so you can tell me
That's
exactly.
even better than taking mom.
Yeah,
and
coach me live.
Somebody that has a medical.
Exactly.
Right.
And the community's great, Janet, because they donate car seats, cribs, strollers. We have baby items from clothing from newborn up to 18 months. So we can provide her all those things. And, you know, sometimes they'll be there after the birth of the baby for maybe a year or so afterwards, just because they're coming in for the different clothing sizes and everything. And we have maternity clothes. So we're there for a long time with that woman.
Can you refer them, like, say they want to sign up for WIC or
Absolutely.
one of the programs?
Oh, yes. We have referrals for insurance. You know, a lot of the girls don't have insurance coverage, depending on, you know, their job and so forth. We give them referrals for insurance, for housing, for WIC, for food, for doctors. Some of them don't have, an OBGYN to go see. Right. Definitely referrals are a big part of what we offer.
I think the reason that people need Patty Becker and resource centers like this is because you're going to make a decision. If you're pregnant and you have to make a decision, you need all the information out there. If you go to an abortion clinic, they're going to offer you one service and one service only. They're not going to offer you anything but unless you ask for it. And then they're not really set up for that because their service is abortion. But Patty Becker and other pregnancy resource centers that are out there are your best friend because you're going to get all the information that you need to be armed with, plus referrals for practical things like cribs and WIC and any other program out there. So if you're pregnant and you don't have the support of your family or boyfriend, you need Patty Becker because you need the information that she can lead you to. Because if you make that decision without the information, you're going to line up with the 40 other million women who regret their abortion and live a life of regret because they didn't have that information. I meet women all the time that are infertile because of their abortion, the psychological effects, the drinking, the drugs, whatever, the STDs, whatever they got into that made them infertile. So when they go for a live birth, and all they do is tell me about their regrets because they didn't have the information a Patty Becker can give you. And also, too, this is in your area. Patty Becker is in Pittsburgh, so you can get to her by bus, trolley. You can get right to her center if you're anywhere around Pittsburgh. But there's a pregnancy resource center in your town, in your city, and we run a national number that you can hook into. Patty, but you tell me that you're listed under abortion alternatives.
Yes.
That most pregnancy resource center are listed under abortion alternatives in your phone book.
Yes, yes, absolutely. You know, a lot of people use the website too, you know, the internet and so forth. So, you know, if you just do a search with a search engine, look under pregnancy and that type of thing, or most of the centers will pop up through, you know, terms like that.
Right. So does your center pop up if I did a pregnancy?
Yes. If you do pregnancy search, you know, our center will pop up.
You just put in the word pregnancy and it'll give you those.
Come right back. Yes, it comes up right away.
You need the information that a Patty Becker has. You need